Well, hey, finally we're back again for the countdown. Sorry, we have missed the last, I'd say, week and a half, but it is the Masters season and there have been some amazing matches going on. But before we get into all of that, how are you doing, JG? Good to see you again, back on the countdown.
Yes, I'm doing very well. I've been playing a bit of tennis, getting back into it. The sun's been shining in the UK. I met a really nice Chilean guy down the park. Like
Darren?
you do, just meeting random people around the parks. And we had a good chat about Marcelo Rios, discussing the clay courts and Roland Garros. So this is coming at a very good time. I've just been playing tennis. I've been speaking about Roland Garros. I've been watching a lot of Madrid. I'm still a little bit high on energy from that Iga victory the other day. I thought she was outstanding and the women really have stolen the show in Madrid. And there's some other news as well to discuss. So loads going on. But how are you, Ben? Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. I feel like overworked with tennis action over the past week. It has been a mental Madrid, and it has been mental for many reasons. And like you say, the women were incredible, yet we seem to have our focus more on the men's tournament, and it all sort of fell apart after Rafael Nadal went out of the tournament. Were all the other players just sort of waiting to see how Rafa did, and then as soon as he went out, were they like, oh yeah, I feel a bit injured as well now? And unfortunately, now we're getting closer to Roland Garros, and we've got a lot of injury concerns, and the most notable players on the tour, now there's only 21 days to go, 3 weeks to go until Roland Garros. And unfortunately, Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner and Daniil Medvedev, all injury doubts right now and not looking good leading up to Roland Garros. And one other player as well who we'll speak about, who is in fantastic form, Jiri Lehečka. Yeah, another injury doubt. He will be missing Rome, but we will get into that as well. What do you make of all of this, or all of these injuries that we're seeing?
Well, I've just sent you a tweet from Vance. I think it sums it up quite nicely. And that is, Alcaraz is struggling with his arm. Sinner is struggling with his hip. Medvedev injured his groin hip adductor. Expectations at the moment for Rune aren't that high. He's a bit shaky. Zverev, I would say, has been a bit of a subpar clay season. Of course, he can improve, but Madrid being one of his best ones, I thought was a little bit disappointing. Nadal semi-retired. Novak Djokovic, heading to Roland Garros, on the other hand, will be laughing. You can see how happy he is there because it's written in the stars for him, it seems. I don't know who can trouble him. All of them names I've said are really the main challenges, let's be honest. Sinner, Alcaraz, Nadal, maybe not, but Zverev, if it's not coming from them, it's not coming from anyone. Just to make things matters worse, Tsitsipas isn't included on this list, but there's been some big news for him as well, and it's very sad news because he has broken up with Paula Badoza, so I can't imagine his mental state will be great either. But you never know, it might motivate him, and sometimes after a breakup, what do they call it? Post-glow after a breakup? I'm not really in with the kids anymore. I feel like I'm a bit old.
We hang around with me too long.
But the post-glow up season, when people start going to the gym, they start building their life up, they start feeling good, a bit more confident.
Yeah.
Maybe that's going to be the case for him and he's going to storm Roland Garros and be the one to beat.
Well, you have to remember he did win Monte Carlo not too long ago, but maybe he was flying high and full of love back then and just adjusted to the whole him and Badoza on tour. I mean, it took about a year to get adjusted because the results were a little bit tepid all the way around the year up until Monte Carlo, to be honest. But yeah, Tsitsipas, I feel that he will always be a challenger, and he's been to 2 Slam finals. One of them was Roland Garros. I feel you have to include his name, especially if he's not injured as well. He'll be looking at this list as much as Djokovic will, in my opinion, and thinking, oh, lovely. Maybe I can make the final again. Because if all of these players are injured, if Tsitsipas is on his top form, I reckon he could take out all of these players on this list if they're subpar. Maybe Djokovic isn't on the list, though. He's at the bottom. There's a little gap there. But Djokovic hasn't been in top form either, though, this year. So we haven't really seen him do anything of note in 2024. Is he saving himself for Rome? That's the big question. And will we get to see a big Djokovic performance? And if we don't, is there concerns for Djokovic as well come this Roland Garros?
That's the thing. That's the question. And that's how I'm sort of putting it to everyone as well. Everyone getting excited. Well, Djokovic fans saying, oh, it's looking great for him now in this situation. He's yet to win a title yet. We're in May. That doesn't happen often. He's not exactly blown me away with his tennis. I mean, we've got Ricky here saying he's 25% retired. Is that harsh? Maybe not. He does feel like a bit about like 25% retired. I don't think he's really played that great in 2024. And players have outshone him. A lot of them as well. And players you wouldn't expect to beat him have. If you're looking at the odds, I don't know if you've got them there, for Roland Garros. What I find fascinating and something we need to speak about is Andrei Rublev. When you go down the list, you've got Alcaraz, Djokovic, Sinner, Nadal, Ruud, Tsitsipas, Zverev, Rune, and then Rublev in that order. So he is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th favourite, Andrei Rublev. And he's at 25-1. He's probably the only one on that list who's playing quite well at the moment.
Yeah, and he's actually looking really, really good on the clay courts as well. So this should be a little bit of a worry for the other competitors.
Well, I think Rublev has got a great opportunity. Say if Alcaraz is not feeling himself, Sinner's not quite right, and all the others aren't as well, then Rublev, the way he can perform with his tennis, I think he can beat all of them players. He's shown he's beaten all of them before. So who's to say he can't get it together? He's beaten Alcaraz, remember, this Madrid.
Yeah, that's true. We are bringing this to you. This is being recorded before the final of Rublev and Felix as well. So there will be a separate video going out with a reaction to how that final ends up. I expect Rublev to win it. I know I've said that from pretty much like the quarterfinal stage. As soon as he beat Alcaraz, I thought, yeah, he should be good to continue. He looked so good. It is a different style of tennis court to Roland Garros. You have to remember it's a little bit slower there at Roland Garros. It won't favour the likes of a Rublev with big serving, which has been benefiting him so well in Madrid. But if he just plays his top tennis, we've seen him beat the likes of Djokovic on a slightly slower court over in Serbia. So if Djokovic isn't on his game, if any of the others aren't on their game and Rublev is, I think his best is enough on his day to beat anybody in that top 10 or top 5, let's say, should they not be at their top 100%.
Yeah, agreed. I think it's pretty open. And Rome, we was expecting all these top players to be there. Are we looking at Nadal versus Djokovic shootout?
Well, this
just
is
like number 57.
Well, this is the interesting thing about Rome as well. I mean, there's part of me thinking, because Rafa's obviously not going to be a seed or anything like that, surely they're going to try to just get him over the other side of the draw. They don't want him on Djokovic's side of the draw at all, just in case.
Now they could play early. It could be like a second round match. I have a feeling that we're going to see him on the same half. I know what you're saying, that it would be good for the organisers to have him on opposite sides. I think it would be more lucrative just to ensure that they play each other, because you can't guarantee Rafa's going to get all the way to a final. He could lose to anyone. So I feel if we get the opportunity to have like a second round match, Rafa versus Djokovic, that would be great. And
it would be good. Yeah, I would love to see it. I mean, Casper Ruud is another person that we're not speaking about enough, really. He's not injured, and
he just lost to Felix, though. I feel he's all right in spells, but I don't see him being a contender for Roland Garros, despite him getting to the final. Has he got to the final twice there? Or once?
Yeah, he has. Yeah. So this is the crazy thing. Casper Ruud, he's that good. He can get to the final, but we don't ever really consider him to win. That's the problem.
I don't think he's going to get to the final even.
There's a lot of other players who could be considered coming through as well. I mean, the likes of Felix, if he keeps this form up, I mean, you never know.
Well, bring it up. Let's have a look who's Felix played to get to Madrid, because it is very important, and a lot of people are talking about it. We've got, obviously, Rublev and Felix in the final, and this is how they reached it. We'll start with Rublev, the number 7 seed. He got a bye, then Bagnis, Davidovich Fokina, Griekspoor, beat Alcaraz, Fritz. and now a final with Felix. It's okay. Not that tough, I don't think. I think Alcaraz and Fritz are tough matches, but the Fritz one I think is winnable.
I think the
for Rublev.
one's really tough as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think he's been in good form. So,
but when you go over the other side, I mean, Nishioka, which he made hard work of, went 3 sets. Manarino, that was a good performance. Mensik, he retired after the first set. Ruud, I believe he won in straight sets, and Ruud didn't play that well. Sinner, walkover. Lehechka, it was a few games. Was it 6 games?
6 games, yeah.
And then he's into the final. He's had 3 walkovers. Well, 1 walkover, 2 withdrawals.
Yeah, I mean,
2 retirements.
I've never seen anything like it for
an unseeded player. Felix getting to a Masters final. It's crazy, isn't it? He's been very fortunate.
It is crazy, I think. I mean, Felix.
You can't. It's nothing against him, by the way. Like it's not his fault. He's just been there, and fair play to him. He's very lucky.
Yeah.
But I don't look at this and think, oh, Felix is playing really well. I think he's just been lucky.
The only good one I'd say is the Casper Ruud one. But then if Ruud wasn't playing very well, then how much do we really judge him on that?
That was a good result. That was a good performance from him. But one good performance to get to a Masters final.
Yeah.
Doesn't give me much excitement or confidence in him.
Yeah, maybe not. I mean, maybe we'll be looking even further afield for players who are sort of on the cusp, I would say, of breaking into the seeds. And there was a very interesting one that you brought up, and he's actually playing in a final right now. He's from Argentina. We did get to see him fairly recently as well. This is Mariano Navone, and he's playing against Musetti at the moment, and in a final, a challenger final. He's serving for the first set in Cagliari in Italy. So pretty damn good.
He had some chances, actually. He was he's had 2 set points already on the Musetti serve, didn't take them, and now him serving, he's facing break points, so falling apart a little bit, but still fantastic player. He's playing against someone who's really good, playing in Italy on the clay courts, who's dangerous in Musetti. And as Jose said, this has never happened before. He's going to be a seeded player for his first ever Grand Slam main draw.
Yeah.
I can't recall any incident where that's happened, where you get a player who's seeded for a Grand Slam. He's pretty high in the rankings, Ben. I don't know what he's going to be if he wins this one, whether he goes up even higher. I'm going to assume he does. Is he going to go sort of 35, around that sort of mark?
Well, I can give you the update. Yeah, 33 in the world 33. At the moment. If he wins today...
probably 30 then.
Yeah, no, well, it will be 31 in the world if he wins. So, yeah, pretty crazy that is. I mean, well played to him, though.
We've still got Rome.
Exactly.
I know he's playing a challenger right now, and he's been doing well in the smaller events, but he can get into Rome, right? Yeah. Or has he missed maybe the cut-off points already been and gone for it? He's already in Italy. That's what I'm saying. It would be a shame. It would be great to see him play in Rome.
Look how many players are dropping out of Rome. So there's going to be people slotting in, like the likes
dropping out of Rome. You've got Navone.
Well, Yuri Lehechka.
You can make a song here. Everyone's dropping out of Rome, but don't worry, we got Mariano Navone. He's gonna go and win it for everybody.
He's sipping on some Peroni. But we do have Lehechka out and Berrettini, an Italian, coming in. Somebody that we haven't really spoken about. He'll be looking at all of these other players as well, thinking, a lot of injuries. I don't mind if I pop in and maybe make a little bit of a run at Rome. Do you reckon?
Well, you've missed another one. A clay court legend, Andy Murray. Born on the clay, he loves it there. He'll be sliding around, I'm sure. I don't know if he's withdrawn, actually, but Berrettini, on a more serious note, definitely has chances. A good clay courter as well.
Yeah, I think so. But move from one Italian to another, I think we have to speak about Jannik Sinner. And Jannik Sinner, I mean, he's had such a great year. And I've seen a lot of people sort of not bringing him down, but they're just sort of saying, I told you not to get too excited. This was always going to be a difficult thing to maintain that sort of run of form. And you're not quite on the level of the Nadals and Djokovic's yet. So and he is suffering with injuries, as is Alcaraz. Hopefully it's not too serious, but we've got a quote from him here.
Is that what you said? You've seen a lot of people.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people. There are a lot of sinners out there, but not the same as Jannik Sinner. He said, at Roland Garros, I will only play if I am 100%. If there is any doubt, we have to see. Some injuries can be prevented, some cannot. So far, we have done a great job. Last year, I played a whole season without injuries, and also in this season so far, in Monte Carlo, the body responded well. Even though I was a little tired, I always like to play. I was the first to say, let's try and play here in Rome too. I don't see it as a defeat. That's it. So, yeah, and he goes on saying, now I have a period without playing. We need to see how to work from next week onwards. Preparation for Roland Garros will clearly not be optimal. We'll give it our best to get there in the best possible conditions to compete. But playing a slam without matches in Rome is not easy. Do you want to take us through the last bit?
No, I think you've done too good already. I'm going to leave it there. But with Jannik Sinner, I think he's gaslighting us all. I think he's. I'm calling him out. I think he will play even if he's not 100%. I think the peak and the pinnacle of his career is Grand Slams, like most tennis players, and whatever it takes, he needs to play Roland Garros. That's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. I think this is a bit of gaslighting from Sinner. He did say, I'll read the bottom bit, with the MRI, we saw that something is not 100% okay. However, we have everything under control. If it doesn't get 100% cured, I'll stop a little longer. Taking care of my body is much more important than anything else. We hope to recover as soon as possible and come back stronger than before. Of course, it is very important that he looks after his body. He doesn't want to spend a long duration out from the tour just because he's forcing the issue. But I think with the way he is at the moment, if the MRI scan's not too bad, then he will most likely play Roland Garros. He's missing Rome as a good precaution. I think he'll be fully fit and ready for the one in France.
He did come out and say in another quote that he doesn't want to be injured for years to come. Like, he doesn't want this, because he's still so young in his career, he feels that taking time off and missing tournaments now will only benefit him and the longevity of his career. So that type of statement doesn't give me that much confidence that he is willing to test his body and put it through the ringer. Alcaraz, he's touch and go as well right now. That's the problem. He's got this forearm problem, which it was a problem. I know there's a lot of people calling us out, saying, was he faking it? When we were saying, was he faking it? Or was he just like over dramatizing it or not even talking about it? It's just one of those things. With injuries, they always feel worse at certain points. Like, if you lost, then it does probably feel a bit worse than when you're winning. And you probably isn't the first thing on your mind that you want to talk about when you go to an interview. But when you lose, it probably is the thing which you're thinking about a bit more. I am slightly concerned for Carlos Alcaraz, and I'm more concerned for him and his longevity. He's had multiple injuries now, and they stacking up a bit. I know that he's still incredible when he comes back after all of them, but I don't like seeing how often he's getting injured. I mean, hopefully it's going to be long enough, this break of Rome, just so that he can come into Roland Garros firing on all cylinders. But this part of me feels it might not be, and he still may have strapping on come the start of Roland Garros.
Yeah, I think he'll be okay, personally. The next thing I want to speak about, going back a little bit to what you were saying with Navone, who is playing Musetti right now in the final. And this is a quote from Musetti. And I think it's relevant because it relates to the tennis landscape as we now know it post Roger Federer. And he said, in today's increasingly powerful tennis, with the return being more and more important, there is no one-handed backhand that compete with an averagely good two-handed backhand. It's normal that we see less and less one-handed backhands. And I thought it was fascinating because he's basically saying the way he has his backhand being one-hander is never going to be as good as someone with a two-hander. Is it too late for him to move from his one-handed backhand to adopt a two-handed backhand if you're a professional tennis player? Or do you think you can't really do that.
I think it's too late, to be honest. I think that once you've got it all ingrained in, it will probably take him years.
Because by his own admission, if he could perfect or do well at a two-handed backhand, it would make him a better player. That's his own admission.
I think it'd make him a different type of player, better.
No, he's saying better because he's saying it makes you a lot more of a complete player if you can do a two-handed backhand. So if he was able to learn it, by his own admission, it would make him a better player. But unfortunately, like you say, I don't think it's possible, is it?
Too little, too late to be thinking like that. He was obviously, when he was learning, he was after the flair, and he liked the single-handed backhand, and it does look amazing when Musetti hits a backhand winner down the line or cross court.
I think some people just find it easier to hit a single-hander.
Maybe
it's a little bit more natural,
but yeah, it does misfire more often than not. Our Tsitsipas, he'll tell you that.
You can't return off him that well.
No,
and I find it interesting as well that you're going the other way in your career. You've always been a two-handed backhand player, but recently when we've been playing, you've moved in from the two-hand to the single-hand.
More always been a slice backhand player, I think, and now I'm trying a few different things to try and even
Last time we played, I saw a lot of one-handed backhands from you.
I think it'd be good to have both in your locker, to be honest, to have a single or a double when you want to use it. Like when I come into the net, if let's just say when you do one of those little drop shots, when I come in, I find it a lot easier to have this, like the stability with two hands to flick a shot than I do with one hand. I feel like I'm a bit more erratic with the one hand. So I feel it helps with a little bit more stability. But
and when do you prefer your single-hander? Is that from the
that's
the
just when I'm like backpedaling and I can just literally just hit a winner down the line. You know, you've seen them fly past. No.
Well, maybe you are the future. Let us know in the comment section. Do you think Ben's style and brand of tennis is the future for the new generations coming through? It'd be great to see players adopt that style. We'll see how it goes for Ben. It's not too late for him to join the tour.
No, definitely not. Or seniors tour might be
the walk-in tennis league.
That's it. Maybe I will. With these, I'm talking about injuries. I feel like I'm just coming back from one as well. The wrist injury. Daniil Medvedev, he's obviously injured as well. Not quite as seriously as Sinner and Alcaraz, but Sinner seems to have the same injury. Rafa has the same.
How do you know it's not so serious?
Well, he's only had doubts for Rome. He still looks like he's going to play it.
Understood. So you're saying it's not serious because he's not withdrawn from Rome?
Yeah, he hasn't withdrawn. So he is defending 1,000 points, though. So that might be the reason why he's not withdrawn as well.
Exactly.
So this is the thing, though, with these tennis players, this hip injury. Is this Rafa? Now we've got Sinner. Now we've got Medvedev, all with hip injuries. And Alcaraz forearm, Jiril Hečka lower back. So Djokovic not got anything at the moment, luckily, touch wood. But this hip injury, there seems to be like a common thing which a lot of players are getting right now, and top players as well. But I'm just a bit shocked that they're all getting the same injury at the same time.
Well, I'm not shocked that they get the same injury. They all do the same sport.
No, at the same time,
profession. So I'm not confused. They're all getting the same injury. I don't know why the hip one's so popular with tennis, but it must be something to do with the motion. I'm not a doctor, so I think you're asking the wrong person there, Ben.
Maybe I am. Right. But
I know I'm good at a lot of things and I fooled you maybe, but not great with health and
if you are a doctor and you're watching this, then please pop some notes in the comment section below. We want to hear your thoughts about why the hip is the thing that is getting injured so frequently with these top tennis players. And that's it for this section. We've talked enough about injuries. Let's get on to some latest news. Latest news, and we have to speak about her because she is the lady of the moment. She's just won her first ever Madrid Masters title. It is none other than Iga Swiatek. Incredible. 3 hours against Aryna Sabalenka on court. It could have gone either way, like you said in your post-match reaction. Saba had her match points, didn't take them, and Iga took hers. Just had that little bit more grit and determination to get it over the line. Somehow, I don't know how, but 9-7 in the final set tiebreak, and she continues that crazy run. What is it now, 76-0 after winning the first set in Masters matches she's completed?
Yeah, not lost a Masters match on clay since 2019 when she wins the first set as well.
It's nuts.
I thought it was a match where you played it 10 times and they played at that level. It would have been 5 apiece.
Yeah.
There's nothing separating them at that kind of level. Iga just managed to get it over the line somehow. Don't know how. Just amazing. And her record now before Rome, you can see it here in the last 3 years. She's getting closer to that 2022 level. Pretty much identical. 2023 it was 25-5. She's now back up to 32-4, which is close to the 32-3 in 22. And we know what she was able to do that year. So I'm expecting her to be full of confidence, like I said in the video. I think people are not going to get close to her at Roland Garros. I think the only person who can beat her is probably going to be a Sabalenka, and she's going to have to perform at that same level. Will she beat her? Only if she can play at that level. I feel Iga, it's easier for her to play at that level more regularly than Sabalenka. I feel Sabalenka will only find that level maybe 1 in 5. However, she has turned a corner, so maybe this is just a new version of her, just like we've seen with Sinner. Hopefully it is. If that's the case, then we're going to be in for a really good Roland Garros, but it's going to be between them two.
Yeah, I would totally agree. And this one, a really good stat. First player, man or woman, born in the 2000s to win 20 titles. I mean, incredible stuff from Iga. And 22 years of age. I think we've got to make some bold statements about Iga Swiatek as well. I know that there's been a lot of people who have just been chatting in our comment section as well, saying, come on, like, we've got to give her the credit she deserves. And don't, like, because obviously we said some matches that she plays in can be boring because she's so good. But I have seen other people saying, yeah, but no one was getting on Serena Williams' back when she was winning everything. And yeah, I agree with that, to be honest. They weren't. So we should embrace Iga because she could be breaking all of the records come the end of her career. And I think that she could be one of those players who ends up with maybe the most records in women's tennis, full stop. And I just want to put it out there now to just say, I'm all in. I would love to see her do it because it's in our lifetime. It's not like it's in like the middle part of our life that we're going to get to watch this amazing Iga play. And I'm so happy that we're in this time. It's brilliant.
Right, let's have a look at some titles then if you want to look at stats. On the men's, Roger Federer has 103 titles, Djokovic 98, Nadal 92. On the women's, we have Navratilova with 167 titles. I don't know if this is including doubles as well, though.
Does it say?
I'm trying to find the information now. That seems insane. That amount, but is that right? I'm not sure.
It says Chris Evert was with 154. So
157 on here. Steffi Graf 107. Margaret Court 92. How many is she gonna get? Iga's on here. She is with active players. She's 6th. I honestly believe she's gonna break all the records and have the most titles. And it's not that crazy because she's 22 years old. My prediction is Iga will make over 100 titles or win over 100 titles.
Here. I mean, if we can get to the bookies now and put that down, I would happily go and take that bet as well. I hope that they're majority
They'll probably
big
close
titles.
down the bookies by the time you try and claim the money.
Yeah, that's true. I would like to say that I think that there's going to be a lot of big titles as well. They're not going to be the 250s and a lot of these small ones. I think that we're going to see lots of Masters or WTA 1000 event.
Do you think she'll make over 100 titles?
Yeah, I think so. And I think that we could see... I heard them speaking about this, actually, saying how many Masters or how many WTA 1000, events do you think she'll win in her career? And I think it could be as high as... I mean, she's won quite a lot already. I think it could be like 50. Is that crazy?
50 Masters events?
Maybe.
No.
I mean, is that nuts?
I think it is. I don't know how many.
Think how many Masters there are in a year. and think how many years she's got left.
How many does Nadal? Nadal's got 36.
Well, Djokovic has got 40, hasn't he?
Djokovic has got 40, and you're telling me she's going to get 50.
Yeah, but they've got more competition with each other. If she stays like this forever. Well, if Sabalenka has a little bit of a dip or gets a little bit sad because she's not winning anything, you never know. It could just be Iga at the top on her own. We don't know who's going to come through, obviously. I mean, obviously in 5-10 years' time.
Maria Carla.
Yeah, she might win another 20 matches. No, I don't know. Raducanu, she might come to the top of the sport. There's all these possibilities. But for me, I think just clay alone, she could win loads of Masters tournaments.
Yeah, she's the best player on clay. So good. And her win in Madrid means she has all of the titles now on a clay court.
Brilliant.
She's big favourite for Roland Garros.
Here it is.
Who's going to beat her? Who's going to beat her? You got Sabalenka, second favourite. Goff, third favourite. Rybakina, fourth favourite. I think I'm going to end it there.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel Collins, maybe.
You could probably just say Iga first favourite, Saba second favourite, and end it there as well.
Yeah, I mean, Iga 1.83 on the bookies. I mean, don't get much money returned for that, do you? No. Who else? Ostapenko down there at 33s. I mean, I'd probably rather take a punt on her than some of these other ones. Osaka, 33. I don't think that's going to happen. Vondrausova? Mukova, surprised she's even on the list. She's not even back yet. Right, but yeah, that's enough about Iga Swiatek. Quick shout out to, obviously, Carlos Alcaraz, just to say happy birthday, because today, when we're actually recording it, it is actually his birthday. So a quick shout out to Carlitos.
Yeah, regular viewer of the channel. So hopefully enjoys this.
I'm sure he will.
Message.
And I'm just hearing as well. I just got a little bit of news coming through. It's actually from Gene. He's just sent it through. It's not coming through my earpiece. He's saying apparently it's been announced that Diego Schwartzman is going to be retiring at the 2025 Argentina Open. So sad news, but I feel that the time is probably right for Diego. We obviously have met him in person. Super nice guy. Go check out our interview with him. It's quite funny as well. But yeah, that'll be a sad one. But is it another Del Potro-esque end up in Argentina, but for Diego this time?
Getting drop-shotted by Del Bonis. It'll be a shame if it's Del Bonis again doing the damage.
I hope it is Del Bonis, and I hope Schwartzman beats him. Does it for Del Potro.
It'll be Marion Navone or something, just killing Schwartzman. One Argentine to another.
Surundalo.
Maybe let's wrap it up there. Last thing to do is, of course, tennis shootout.
Woo-hoo.
Right, me versus Ben, where we both ask each other a question and try our best to get it right. And I'll let you go first, Ben.
Right, okay. I'll go first, as I normally do. Let's get just straight into this one. I wasn't sure what to do with your question today, so I just thought I might make it like slightly easier than normal for you. But it's going to be about Roland Garros, not about the current tournament that we're just going into. So I'm going to ask you this. Rafael Nadal has obviously won the most Roland Garros titles ever, with 14 titles. But who in the Open era has won the second most? Go.
This is annoying. Open era is from what dates again?
Open era is from like 1968, I believe.
Oh, mate, so it's going to be someone. It's going to be someone from there. Then I'm not going to know who it is. Marcelo Rios.
You just got him on the brain, I think. Marcelo Rios.
It's is he Argentinian?
No, he's not.
Okay, I don't know. I'm going to go Novak Djokovic.
No. Come on, you're going to kick yourself.
Just, I don't know who it is.
He's a Swedish guy.
Exactly. Bjorn Borg, of
There
course.
you go. Of course,
It's obvious.
Bjorn Borg. God, and think how many more he could have had.
It's actually
had he not
very
retired.
easy, that question.
That's what I mean. Think
It's
how
even
many
more embarrassing.
Think how many more he could have had he continued.
They all said he was the best clay court player ever, and then Rafael Nadal came.
Yeah, exactly. And then just to think,
A lot of people were thinking no one would ever be as good on clay as Bjorn Borg, and
exactly.
then Rafael Nadal arrived.
Isn't it crazy that we've got Bjorn Borg and we've got Mats Wilander, 2 Swedish players. I mean, Mats Wilander had 3 as well. So
how many did
Djokovic,
Borg have?
He had 6. And it's crazy to think he had, look how close they were together. 74, 75, 78, 79, 80, 81. So he was as dominant.
He just retired, didn't he?
Yeah.
Out of the blue.
He was like,
he could have still played.
And McEnroe was like, no, don't retire. I need a rival.
We watched a film about it.
Exactly right. Well, he did watch a film about it. It was a very good one, the McEnroe documentary. Go check it out.
And how many does Djokovic have, Roland Garros?
He has 3 at the moment, but if he wins it this year, he can be standalone in 3rd of all time. So he's level at the moment with Gustavo Kuerten, Ivan Lendl, and Mats Wilander.
Okay, my question for you.
Okay.
You should be good at it.
Okay.
Because we've just been looking at the odds.
Oh,
So,
no.
looking at the odds for Roland Garros on the men's, please don't cheat, Ben, right now.
I'm not going to. I'm
We
just going to
have-
upload the timer.
We have 4 players at 80-1 for Roland Garros. Can you name one of them?
On the men's?
Correct. Go.
Okay.
There's 4 at 80-1.
Oh, okay. Can I name one of them?
If you name all 4, that'll be amazing.
80-1.
Who's about 80-1 to win Roland Garros? Give us 4 names.
Cam Norrie? I don't know, that's a guess. I bet it'll probably be higher, though. I'll go Navone, because you've been talking about him quite a lot. Rios? No, I'm joking.
Quick! Time! Oh, I don't know if I can even allow that one. We'll have to go to VAR. I think that's called... We did cheat. I think it was time and thing at the very same time. I might allow you to have it.
I got in there the last violin.
Because I can confirm Cerundolo is correct. That is one of them. Francisco Cerundolo. Maybe it was just after the buzzer, but I might allow you. But all the others were incorrect. The other players are Alex de Minaur, Andy Murray, and Joao Fonseca.
Ooh,
is the 4 players at 80-1. Cam Norrie is actually 100-1.
That's crazy that de Minaur and Fonseca are the same.
Yeah.
Disrespectful. Cerundolo, though.
Yeah.
He's been playing quite well. Beat Zverev.
80-1.
I might put a bet on
Grigor Dimitrov, 100-1. Hubie Hurkacz, 100-1.
Draper?
But then you've got Fonseca, 80-1.
I mean, if Fonseca wins it, it'd be mad.
I think Draper, also 100-1.
I think
Fonseca is higher than him.
I think the best story would probably be if Navone wins it, because if he's just coming in, just as a seed, just randomly for this first ever Roland Garros, and then just wins the whole entire thing.
Well, he's got to beat Musetti first. Let's see how he gets on with that.
Yeah, true.
I'm
he
going to go and watch Madrid because that one's started. And I'm going to thank you all. I think we're going to probably eat humble pie. Looks like Felix is absolutely killing Rublev at the moment. Double break up. But yeah, I'm going to go and watch that one. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. And remember, Mariona Navone is going to be winning Roland Garros. You heard it here first. See you soon.